Let's have a conversation. I want to take this time to thank everybody for their support of myself, Mark, and the music and mental health movement. Please take this time to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to get notified of when I drop some more great content. Thank you. Hey y'all. Sorry about the delay. So my intent, if I still had my GoPro camera right now, would have been to get home and edit all my footage, because when I decided to take this trip to Miami, I knew it was going to be an expensive investment. I tried to do the whole GoFundMe thing. It didn't work out. I did get one donation. Shout out to Shanna. But overall, the GoFundMe thing didn't work out. But I said, I'll find ways to fund it myself, and it'll pay me back over time with the footage that I put on my page. So I was excited about that. I started recording the footage from a couple weeks before the trip. I was recording myself doing my different training that I was doing while I was here in New York. I recorded like footage of when I went to the barbershop the day before. I had my thoughts about why I go to the barbershop the day before a race. I had videos of me after I got out. I had video of me going to the nursing home to see my dad the day that I left for Miami. Saying bye to him, letting him know where I was going and when I was coming back. Yeah. What else did I have? I had footage of myself all through the airport, walking through the airport. Hey everyone, so sorry about your GoPro, Mark. Give me 1 second. Yeah. Thank you, Lisa. Yeah, so I had footage of myself walking through the airport. I had footage of myself getting on the plane, everything that happened on the plane. With the plane ride was quite crazy. I had when I got off the plane, I had my hotel. I took video of the whole hotel. Maybe it was just supposed to be a special trip for your memory only. The first day was good. The second day was rough because I spent the whole rest of the day after the competition. I got back to the hotel and I was like, let me get out my GoPro so I can record some thoughts of after I finished the race. And then I looked for the GoPro and then I got frantic. I checked the front desk. They said they hadn't seen anything. I checked my bags. I checked the whole hotel room. I checked the rental car. I looked outside. I went back to the race course, which is like half an hour away. I told them. They said they hadn't seen it. I retraced my steps everywhere that I went. While I was there, I looked and I asked. I even went to the Miami PD. And I was like, is there any chance that anyone turned in a GoPro camera? I knew that was a long shot, but I had to check everything. So I'm not in the mood to really give you guys a whole breakdown, but I'm going to give you, I guess, a miniature breakdown of the weekend. So I think a week or two ago, my race was supposed to take place on Sunday. And I think like a week or two ago, at the very last minute, they said, we're moving all the races onto Saturday because it was supposed to be a 2-day race, Saturday and Sunday. So they said everything is being moved to Saturday. And I said, oh, great, because my plane ticket was for Saturday. I was supposed to get in on Saturday afternoon and leave on Sunday. So here I am thinking about the possibility of me having to just cancel altogether. So I called the third-party booking agent that I used to book my ticket. And they were like, oh, well, you can get 10 euros back if you cancel your ticket. And I was like, oh, cool, 10 euros. How much is 10 euros? They were like, $10 and something US dollars. So I'm like, let me get this straight. I pay almost $300 for this round trip ticket. And you're offering me 10 US dollars as a replacement for that. So I was like, okay, this is crazy. So I contacted the airline directly. For the one-way ticket, they offered me I could get some of the money back with a cancellation fee, but the one on the way back, I lost like a good maybe half of the money, and then I got a travel credit for the other half. So I was like, you know what? I've been training for this for months. Even though this is a huge L money-wise, I'm going to make this happen, and I'm going to maximize the best I can out of the footage. That's why this footage part is so important to me, because it might just sound like, well, at least you had the experience, at least you got to go, you accomplished your mission. But the footage part was so important because it cost me a lot to actually do this trip financially. So I was doing that. I was willing to do that as an investment. I'm like, this is an investment for myself. And once I put up this footage, it's going to be really high quality. And I was going to put together like a 4 or 5 part documentary about the whole experience from before, during, and after. And now I have no camera. So it's tough. I'm not going to lie. It is tough. So anyways, I got in. My flight was, 5 p.m. It left from Newark Airport, New Jersey. and I had to do it to Fort Lauderdale instead because it's cheaper to go from um, New Jersey than it is from New York, and it's cheaper to get to Fort Lauderdale than it is to Miami. Anyone who's flown to Miami knows that Fort Lauderdale is a cheap alternative. And it's like maybe 20, it took like 20 minutes for me to get from Fort Lauderdale to Miami. So it wasn't that bad. I got in Friday night, I'm sorry. And I had not yet tried to change my hotel reservation because I had a hotel reservation for Saturday. Long story short, I had to get a whole different hotel that I had to pay for there. Again, really expensive, but it was a nice hotel. It was a Hilton. It was a Hilton hotel in the heart of Miami, which was beautiful, even though all I did was basically get something to eat and then put my head down, and then I was gone. Checkout is 11, but my race started 10:50 anyways, so I was out of there well before 11. I got to the race site. It was hot. I knew it was going to be hot. It wasn't like summertime hot because I was in Miami before in May, and that's not even the heart of summer or anything like that, but I was there like I think early May, and it was hot then. So it wasn't as hot, but it was about 85 and pretty humid. And I was like, oh, so we're just going to do this race outside. I knew it was going to be hot, but it was tough. And I trained a lot for this race. So we get to the race. So for the race, it's hard to explain. I do have some race footage that I'm going to show you guys eventually. They built up the race underneath a tent. So all the exercise stations were under a tent. And then around the perimeter of the tent, there's sand. And you do 3 laps around the sand, and then you go inside, and then you hit station 1. You finish station 1, you come back out, you do 3 more laps around in the sand, and then station 2. So I don't know, some of y'all might remember that I ran on the beach once here in New York. It was about 55 or 56 degrees at that time. And I was like, wow, my quads, my calves, it was so hard to like run in the sand because the sand is soft and there's divots in the sand. And like running and getting your feet through it is just painful and taxing. So I said, you know what? I'm not even going to train in the sand anymore. I'm just going to hit different levels on the treadmill. I'm going to put the hill setting on the treadmill to simulate the sand. There is no simulation to running in sand. Trust me. There's absolutely no simulation to running in some sand. The first 3 laps, I was like, this is going to be hard. Because your feet are just sinking in the sand. And it's far. Like a 1K never felt so far as much as you running in some sand. So the way the sand was set up, you're going around 4 corners. Actually, 3 of the corners had soft sand that your feet are just like digging into the sand while you run. And one side, only one of the 4 sides had more like hard, flat sand, which was a lot easier to run in. So for me, what I did was I kind of took my time on the softer parts of the sand where my feet were just sinking in. And then once I got to the flat section of sand, I booked it as much as I could to make up for that. So the stations were pretty hard. Some of the stations were not any different than what you would experience anywhere else because there's no variation to using a row machine. It doesn't matter really what surface it's on. The row machine is a row machine. The ski erg is the ski erg. The stations that mattered the most was like sled push and sled pull, because the surfaces are over top of sand. It's not directly on top of the sand, but they put a carpet over top of sand, and you're pushing the sled over top of the carpet that's over top of sand. So as you can imagine, the consistency is not what it would be on a flat platform. The other thing was the farmer's carry, which, and if anyone doesn't know what a farmer's carry is when you're holding a kettlebell in each hand and you're just walking with the kettlebell. The farmer's carry was on sand. So you had to actually hold these two 60-pound kettlebells in each hand. They were 60 pounds each in each hand, and walk 200 meters over sand with the kettlebells, which a lot of people were struggling with. I struggled with it compared to what I do on flat platforms, but I killed it compared to a lot of other people. I did really good on that part. The sled push was a struggle. The sled pull was a struggle. I'll show you guys all these videos. I've posted a few of them so you guys can see a little bit of what I did. There's 8 stations, and there's a run between each station. After station 2, which I believe was the sled push, the skin ripped off of my big toe on my left foot, and the toe next to it, it was almost ripped off as well. And I was like, you know what, let's just keep going, because I'll attend to all this when I'm done. By the time I got to the burpee broad jump, my toe was in so much pain. I was like, I cannot continue. So I stopped, and I called for a medic. I was like, is there a medic? And they looked at me like, medic? What are those? This was a weird experience for me because, well, number one, I don't think I've ever called for a medic during a race before, at least not for me. I called for a medic for somebody else, but I have never called for a medic for myself. But I've seen when medics are called during these races, they come in a timely fashion and they attend to whatever it is that needs to be attended to. I was just sitting on the ground while they were calling people on their walkie-talkies. You got a Band-Aid? You got anything that could help with this? Where's the first aid kit? They couldn't locate the first aid kit. And I'm sitting here thinking, number one, I'm in pain. And number two, my time keeps ticking up while I'm waiting for you guys to get me a first aid kit. So what ended up happening, I don't know if you guys know that like white tape that comes on the rolls. I don't even know if that's medical tape or not. I've used it as, I remember using that tape for basketball injuries. Like if I jammed a finger or something, I would just wrap that white tape around 2 fingers to keep it stable. Like that's what I used that kind of tape for. So they passed me the whole roll of that. They weren't attending to my injury at all. They just passed me the whole roll. I thought I still had it on my foot. I was going to show you. But all I did was I took some of the water from the water station where they give you water to drink, and I just poured about 4 cups over my toe because it was raw, like the skin was off, and there was sand all up in there. So they didn't have any, at least they didn't bring me any hydrogen peroxide or anything like that. So I just poured the water on the toe and wrapped it up with that little tape they gave me, which was insufficient. I'm going to complain about that. That was not sufficient. Wrapped up my toe, and I was like, it's going to be what it's going to be. I still have more than an hour probably until I finish this, and I'm just going to have to go through this and tend to it later. So I kept going. I was halfway through at that point. I kept going. I walked for a couple of laps because I was like, this hurts, and it's so much at this point. Running is hard. I eventually started running again, but I considered the possibility of dropping out of this race. And if you know me, I would have been heartbroken if I had to drop out of the race because it took a lot for me to be there. It's very hard. And I'm not a quitter. So I went through station 5, station 6. When I got to station 6, I got a terrible cramp in my right, inner thigh. The reason I'm laughing is because I'm no stranger to getting a cramp, and especially being in like hot weather and like running around in hot weather. It's not out of the norm to have a cramp. It's just that I've never had one in that location before. I've had one in my quad. I've had one in my hamstring, calves. I even had one the other day in my shoulder. Like I've had cramps different places while doing sports or exercise, but in my inner right thigh, it was just, and then the type of exercises that they have you do, it's like leg work. It's a lot of leg work. So that cramp scared me because I'm like, am I going to be able to finish this race when I have lunges to go, kettlebell carries to go, fireman's carries? I mean, they're called fireman's carries, and also the squat ball throw with I think the pounds is like 21 pounds, where you squat and you throw it at a target. I don't remember if I've uploaded that already. Matter of fact, I'll show you guys. Just give me a second. I mean, I'm not necessarily going to show you that because I don't think I uploaded that all yet. But just to give you guys a little bit of an idea what it looked like. Bear with me here, y'all. Bear with me. Bear with me. Because I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to share my screen in a second. Whoops. If I can act like I know what I'm doing here. Feels like I've been gone for so long, even though it's been only a little bit. Okay, there we go. There you can see my live. Okay, I guess. Now that particular thing is the station where the skin ripped off my big toe. Imagine doing a sled push of 336 pounds where it depends on you driving your feet into the ground and you have no skin on the bottom of your big toe. And also there's sand all over it. It was pretty grueling to say the least. It was pretty grueling. What's here? Oh, this is when I arrived. I'm really here, man. I'm really here. I put in the work for this. I'm going to be competing. I'm going to be doing all of this shortly. Yo, this takes a lot of grit, man. This takes a lot of grit. I can't wait to tell you guys my finish line story. It's beautiful. I'm really here. Yeah, I mean, video footage or not, I did something here. I clearly did something here. I mean, I do have footage of a lot of the actual competition itself, which I'm probably not going to make an entire documentary style video as I was before. This is going to be it. But the reason I titled this, update / fundraiser, as always, this is not like pressure or something that you have to do. But if you feel so compelled, I would appreciate any kind of help that I can get, whether that is via my Cash App, PayPal, super chat, super thanks, membership, even, all that good stuff, to assist with the cost of not only the weekend itself, but the fact that I lost my camera that I just bought 2 weeks ago. I was devastated. I still am devastated. They say time heals all wounds. Even getting another camera, I can get another camera, but I can never get back those moments that I captured. Not just the race, but like I said, talking to my dad, going to the nursing home, visiting him, showing you guys like my experience in going there, how I felt coming out. It was just a lot. It was just a lot to lose. It put a damper on the weekend, and like Saturday after I was done, I had plans to celebrate, have a good time, unwind. I spent the whole evening looking for the camera. That was that. So that's the reason why you didn't see any further footage from me afterwards, but I trained for it. The bottom line is I trained for it. Let me see. Which way do you get to keep the most money? And I heard YouTube. Is e-transfer possible cross-border? Oh, you ain't lying. So I might get this wrong, but this is just off of the top of my head. For like my regular YouTube revenue off of the ad money I get from people watching my videos, I think the split is like 60-40. Like they take 40 from that. If you do a membership for my channel, I get 70% and they get 30%. So the answer to your question is really, there's no mode through YouTube where they don't take a chunk of change. It would have to be Cash App. I know you don't have Cash App because they don't have that in Canada. But yeah, PayPal, I do. My aunt does e-transfers to me and my sister. Well, not my sister anymore because she moved to the States. But my aunt still sends me e-transfers because I still have my Royal bank account. So when she sends it to me, it goes in to my Royal bank account. But yeah, this race, I'm still sore from it. It was the hardest race that I've ever done. And I did it. I feel like I'm the best shape that I've ever been in my life. You guys have seen me go through the biggest transformation of my life, and it's partially because of you all. Because when I started doing this in August, September last year, I turbocharged this fitness that I've been doing because now I have 2,000 accountability partners. So it's like if I fall off, I know my real supporters, and I'm sorry if I'm stretching my leg because I'm tired. I'm sore. I'm so sore from this weekend. That was no easy feat. I have 2,000 accountability partners. So if I were to fall off, even though I know my true supporters would understand, I just don't want to come on here and be like, hey guys, I was on it for a while and now I'm back off and back where I was before. I don't want to go back. This is my new life, and everything that I do, I want to work on going forward and moving on up from that. The race was amazing. I met a lot of great people there. A lot of us struggled, not just me. I saw people sitting on the sidelines, cramps, bleeding, injuries. Like, it's not a guarantee that you're going to go there and finish this thing. Trust me. I didn't even feel like it was a guarantee for me. I just knew that unless I had an injury that was so serious that it was a medical detriment to my long-term health to continue, I was going to continue no matter what. And I did. I came, I saw, I conquered. I don't have anything else on my plate right now, but y'all know I'm a man of goals and dreams. So I will have other things on there once this soreness, subsides a little bit, my body starts healing a little bit. I am going to show you guys some snippets and stuff of the workout stations and everything. Maybe I'll even compile a little bit of a video, but because I don't have those behind the scenes stuff from the GoPro anymore, the documentary unfortunately will not be happening. I'm sad about that, but I'm just telling myself there will be other times, there will be other things that I can document eventually. Hopefully soon I can get myself another GoPro. And also, I want to say this because most people wouldn't say this. If by any chance all those feelers that I put out, the Miami PD, the rental car company, the hotel, all the different places that I went and looked and I said, hey, have you seen a GoPro? Have you seen a GoPro? If any of them happen to contact me, if you gave me a donation and they happen to contact me and say, we have your GoPro, we're going to send it to you, I promise you that I would take whatever I got and send it to them, because this is not really about money. And I know that you guys are like, yeah, well, some people, not everybody. Some people might be like, you're asking for money and you're saying it's not about money. It makes sense to me because everything I do on this page, most of what I do on this page, aside from when I just sit here and talk to you, it's some kind of investment. I invest my time, I invest my talents, my skills, and sometimes I invest my money. These fitness competitions that you see me do, they're anywhere usually from $40 to $100 to participate. This one was $200. So we're talking a $200 competition. We're talking probably $1,000 or more in just travel. Like $300-$400 for a rental car, hotel. And then I lose the camera on top of that. It was just it's just a tough one. It's just a tough one. Even coming on to do this live, it was tough to think about coming on to do this live. But I wanted to make sure I gave everyone an update because I wanted you to know what happened regarding this documentary. I'm going to end this soon, and I'm going to end this on a more positive note, which is that my brand new job that I've been waiting to start for 6 weeks since the time they offered me the job is starting tomorrow. So that means every bit of disappointment that I feel today, when I go to bed tonight, we're wiping the slate clean, as clean as possible anyways, because I want to start off on the best possible foot that I can. I want to give them a good impression. I want to do well, and I want to do well from the beginning. So once again, I want to thank you guys all for your support. That's my story. That's what happened. Shout out to the people on here now and the replay crew. I appreciate you always. And that's all I got for tonight. Also, just a reminder, because not many of you have been transferring over to my other page. My other page is Mindful Reality. This is my other YouTube page. So if you guys want to see my BB Can coverage, eventually my BB coverage when BB25 starts, my Challenge US, my Challenge World Championships and Challenge in general coverage. I don't think I've really started to cover Survivor yet, but basically any of my reality TV coverage is now going to be over on that page, and this page is going to be mostly my mental health and the things that help with my mental health, which is music and fitness. And I will do exactly that. If you're talking about my PayPal address, yeah, add me here, add my YouTube here if you're interested in following my YouTube coverage of reality TV, because that's why I have transferred most of my reality TV coverage. Shout out to Chaz from the Circle. My interview with Chaz from the Circle is on there. Please watch it. It was a great interview. It only has, I think, 61 views the last time I checked. We need to get that to at least 100 views, people. There's no way this Chaz interview should have less than 100 views. Watch it again, share it, tell a friend. If you know a friend that likes the Circle and watch season 5, they're gonna want to see this Chaz interview. So let's bring those numbers up, please, on this channel, Mindful Reality, spelled just like this. And if anyone wanted my PayPal, this is my email address for my PayPal. Get off my nerves forever at gmail.com. I have a story behind everything. I'll give you that story at some other date and time. My Cash App, and y'all know I hardly ever do this, but my Cash App is Champ Within. This is my Cash App for anyone who wanted to throw me a Cash App. And what else? Oh yeah, Super Chats. You know, I don't like, they do take their percentage, but it doesn't mean I appreciate it less. If it's easier for you to throw me like a super chat or a super thanks, that is fine too. I appreciate whatever I can get. And once again, I'm just thankful for y'all. I'm thankful for your support. I'm thankful for the comments and the words of encouragement that you guys gave me about this situation, because it's not easy. Because like I said, if it was just a brand new camera, nothing was on the camera, and I just lost the camera itself, yeah, it's rough. You know, nobody likes to lose things that they pay for, especially something expensive like a GoPro. But I would eventually replace a GoPro. But the fact that I had all these memories on there, that's the tough part. That's the tough part. I'm still hoping for the return. Oh, I don't know if I said this. I might have said this, and if I'm repeating myself, I'm sorry. But on the odd slim chance, if anyone gave me a donation, and on the odd chance that somebody found the GoPro after you gave me a donation, the money that you gave me, I would use towards giving the person who returned it a reward. That's what I would do. And I would let you guys know also. I wouldn't just tell you that I'm doing that. I would let you know. I'd show you. I don't have any problem with that. I don't have any problem with that. But it's just that as of now, it's very slim chance that I get this thing back undamaged, untouched. Especially if I lost it on the beach. Like, come on, somebody was just even the police told me that. They were like, we'll make the report, but chances are somebody sees that little GoPro and they just pick it up and go with it. And I believe that that's probably the case, because I left no stone unturned. I ran all up and down Miami trying to get this thing back, and probably gone, y'all. I had to leave without it. I had to leave without it. But thank you guys again. What do I have coming up next? Probably not gonna have a fill my cup tomorrow if you guys have been watching that. I am going to be covering BB Can Tuesday. I'm going to be covering Challenge World Championships Wednesday. Tomorrow, I'll probably let you guys know how my first day on the job went. How about that? I'll give you guys an update on my first day on the job, on the new job. So thank y'all again, and we'll talk later.